information about the weather right now.
Absolutely, Bob. And I mean, really, does it get better than this?
I don't think so.
It's hard on the Gulf Coast to see days as nice as this because typically when it's sunny, it's hot.
Right.
Or we end up getting rain or it's cold.
Or we have humidity.
Oh, exactly. That humidity can be really brutal. But in October, everything is just right. And that's the way it looks to stay this whole week.
I like that.
Yeah, you and me both. Let's jump into what we've got right now on the storm tracker. Nothing to track. Things are dry, and the good news is, as I just said, it's going to be that way for several more days. But we do have a disturbance down in the Bay of Campeche that we're going to have to keep our eye on. The Hurricane Center has circled this as an area of interest to possibly become a depression or a tropical storm. Now, the odds of that happening is 60% over a period of 5 days. That takes us through Friday. Now, the reason why they're keeping the probability that high for so long is because this feature is barely going to be moving over the next couple of days. Right now it's moving at a snail's pace to the northeast at 3. There would be your center of circulation. This is officially called Invest 93L. That's the official name of the disturbance, but it does not look like this is going to be creating a problem for us. Here's a look at the model projections. Only a couple of models want to steer this thing into Mexico. Odds are that's not going to happen. The statistics state that this thing is going to be moving towards the east, and the reason why is because there's a front that's going to be pushing through here in the next couple of days. Once that front gets here, yes, it's going to make our air cooler, but it's also going to take this disturbance and push it eastward towards the Atlantic. So the odds of this thing impacting us, very, very slim. We're under the influence of dry air for now. We have a stalled boundary to our south. That's where the showers are located, but that stalled front is also responsible for some of the clouds we've seen streaming through here. Our focus and attention is going to be on cold front number 2 that starts to push in tomorrow evening and as we move in towards your Wednesday. Now, there are a few showers showing up in advance of this thing. It will roll through here in dry fashion with a reinforcing shot of dry air and cooler temperatures. So long story short, this is just going to be a very nice October week with low humidity, cool nights, and very pleasant afternoons. Right now, Mobile, you're sitting at 76 degrees, but cooler farther inland. Chinchula at 68, Jackson at 68, Pascagoula right now, you're sitting with a temperature of 77. The closer you are to that boundary farther to the north, the cooler your temperatures are going to be. Downtown Port City right now, you're at 77. Daphne, same for you. Fairhope, you've cooled off nicely. You're at 72. Same for Gulf Shores. Somerdale at 76. Lillian and Pensacola, you're each coming in at 75. Now, as the evening rolls on, most of you will end up settling at about 59 by the time we come on the air for the newscast at 9 o'clock. Conditions will be very nice. The sky will be mostly clear, and most of all, the weather pattern stays generally quiet. Tomorrow, we should see an average temperature of around 80. That's what we're going to go with in the Port City, but several of you will see highs only in the mid to upper 70s. Citronelle, Bay Minette, you'll be up to about 75. Theodore, 77. Daphne, 78. Fairhope and Gulf Shores, you'll be up to 76. Now, farther inland, you're closer to the boundary. Your high should stay in the mid-70s. So for you, we're going with a forecast of sunny and mild. The projected high 74 if you live in Thomasville, Monroeville, or Evergreen. Atmore, Chatham, your high tomorrow about 75. Jackson, you'll be up to about 76. On the Florida side, Pensacola, you should be up to 80 tomorrow. 81s for Century, Milton, Fort Walton Beach, Eglin Air Force Base, and Crestview, you should be up to a very toasty 82. So your forecast on the Panhandle warm, but the sky for everyone is going to remain essentially sunny. Now, the streaming clouds we have over us right now are going to be falling apart by the time the clock reaches 11 tonight. That's when the sky should go completely clear. And then as we roll forward to tomorrow morning, although we'll be dry and clear, the forecast pattern will be cool with temperatures in the lower 50s. And as we roll farther into the afternoon tomorrow, not a cloud in the sky, much less a shot for rain. The forecast pattern remains generally dry and quiet. So to summarize tonight, we'll drop down into the mid to lower 50s. Inland, you'll see an average low of around 50. South of I-10, about 54. A light northwest wind at 4 to 8 miles per hour. Now, tomorrow, expect a high of about 80 degrees inland, 77 along the coast, warm and sunny, and a north wind continues to pump in dry, stable air. Here's how the next 7 days stack up. The front is going to make the air cooler. The highs will only be in the upper 70s Wednesday through Friday. By Friday morning, the temperature for most of you will be in the 40s. So even though it's cool now at night, it's going to get even cooler. We did throw in a very slim chance for some drizzle at the beginning of next week. That really shouldn't be a big deal, but generally we're expecting a very dry forecast pattern, and most important of all, it's going to stay sunny through the weekend.